A lot of people forget to shop Audi when looking for an electric vehicle. It has a bunch of them. The 2024 Q8 e-Tron has some great attributes and a few quirky ones. Let's take a look. Many people make resolutions like dressing better, getting in shape, or jumping on some sort of self-improvement regimen. Cars? Cars don't do that, they're cars. The closest thing an automaker can do to whip a vehicle into shape is a mid-cycle refresh. The 2024 Audi Q8 e-Tron is a best-case scenario of what humans might achieve if they stuck to their promises to improve. For starters, the name is new. It used to be just e-Tron, like Cher or Sting. It's laser-etched on the B-pillar in case owners forget. It gets subtle plastic surgery too, mostly up front, like the nose job and lighted and flattened rings. The meaningful enhancements are under the skin. With improved battery chemistry and packaging, range is up from 222 miles to 285. Max charge speed is improved from 150 kilowatts to 170. Aerodynamic drag is down by some 6%. Also, the asynchronous rear motor now gets additional windings for better efficiency and torque delivery. Unlike the Audi e-Tron GT sedan that's built on the same architecture as Porsche Taycan, Q8 rides on its own platform. This is a loaded prestige model that MSRPs for $88,600 with the optional Madeira Brown metallic paint. Yeah, look close, it's not black. The Sportback model with a swept rear glass treatment adds $3,400. In 2019, this was Audi's first adventure into EVs and one of the very first luxury SUVs on the market. It was a trendsetter back in the day, but competition moves fast, and now there's the BMW iX, Cadillac Lyriq, Jaguar I-Pace, Lucid Gravity, and Rivian R1S. Plus, the aging Tesla Model X keeps dropping in price. Some might even see the three-row Kia EV9 as a rival. Oh, and don't be confused that there's a gas-powered Q8. A new steering rack delivers a quicker ratio and more tactile control. e-Tron hasn't lost weight, but the lithium-ion pack is more energy-dense now, going from 86.5 kilowatt-hours to 106 usable. Strictly quattro dual-motor all-wheel drive with power normally biased towards the back tires. Power is rated as high as 402 horses and 490 pound-feet of torque. Time to play everybody's favorite game show, Frunk or No Frunk. All right, let's call it a half a frunk. Q8 e-Tron's architecture is not as space efficient as, say, iX and Lyriq. They swap front storage for a flat, open cabin, good for stashing purses or backpacks, whereas Audi goes with a large, traditional console. On power-up, there's great sound design that I didn't capture well. Same goes for the head-up display. Those are hard to show properly. The single-speed transmission is controlled by one of my favorite selectors. It works great, feels like it weighs 10 pounds. Paddles adjust regeneration drag, kind of, more on that later. Audi Drive select modes, 7 of them, make a noticeable difference. All Q8 e-Trons get adaptive air suspension that can add 2 inches of lift or drop it an inch at highway speeds. Intelligent Park Assist can tuck e-Tron into a space pretty much by itself, parallel and perpendicular. I like the bird's eye camera system. Q8 e-Tron can get up and go, even though it's not the quickest in class. You have to ask yourself, how fast do you really need to go? This will do the 0 to 60 dash in 5.5 seconds. Certainly speedy enough to annoy the neighbors. Good thing EVs are quiet and stealthy, but always drive safely. If you have the need for more Audi speed, then maybe go with the SQ8 e-Tron. It shaves a second off that Sprint. It is more expensive, though, and reduces range. The nature of the electric motors is so silky, it's easy to look down and find yourself way over the speed limit. Anything under 45 miles an hour feels dreadfully slow in the e-Tron. That's how polished it is. This is a supremely comfortable vehicle. Hit a bump and the suspension soaks it up like nothing ever happened. There are no quivers coming up through the chassis. It's Volk-like. It's quiet. The interior is lovely. This is like a sanctuary. The battery case is reinforced with extruded aluminum cross sections. The packaging seems to eliminate any chassis shimmy. Elevated, the seating position is just right. Not so much that people have to hike themselves up and into the seats, though that could be part of a New Year's workout regimen. Visibility is as good as it's going to get in a vehicle these days, and the Prestige model offers vehicle-to-infrastructure ability if your city supports that and you keep subscribing to the data plan. Toss this hard into a corner and yeah, you're going to feel the 5,800 pounds. Plus, the suspension is set for comfort overall. That said, the steering is very accurate. The weighting is about perfect. And you've got the batteries in the floor, which helps lower the center of gravity. This e-Tron can tow 4,000 pounds. There's the expected ADAS, active electronic safety tech, like automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane keeping, and adaptive cruise control. It's all good, but not Super Cruise or Blue Cruise good. Those are true hands-free driving. And Mercedes has Level 3 Drive Pilot coming for those that road trip a lot. Speaking of, my best guesstimate when it comes to range is 225 miles in the real world. You got to remember that I don't baby vehicles when I drive them. I have fun. I'm not hypermiling. Plus, it's been cold in Seattle, the mid-30s to the mid-40s, and you all know what cold temperatures do to EVs. For what it's worth, I saw around 190 miles in slightly warmer temperatures when I drove the e-Tron years back, so the improved pack does make a difference. If there's no current flowing to the asynchronous motors, they don't produce drag losses. Good for efficiency. Even when going into full regen mode, there's not a lot of regeneration drag. I have my foot off the throttle and I just keep going and going until I put my foot into the brake. This pretty much drives like a regular car, and the brake pedal feel is very, very good. I do like one pedal driving, but I also feel by driving in the traditional way, I tend to be more ready for emergencies that might happen. Yeah. At some point, this'll need electrons. Q8 e-Tron gets complimentary Electrify America DC fast charging for 2 years. That makes sense, since both it and Audi are in the Volkswagen family. I still believe, for the best electric vehicle experience, charging where you sleep is important. e-Tron supports plug-in charge, so theoretically, no cards or apps are needed. The system should recognize the vehicle. Success. This is how all charging should be all the time. Unfortunately, it isn't. I've taken Electrify America to task in the past. Here, all terminals are working. Maybe things are improving? With its 170 kilowatt max charge rate, a 10 to 80% charge should take about a half hour at the right DC fast chargers. This terminal, and many really, are limited to 150 kilowatts, so the new 170 rate might be moot. This is the best that I'm getting because temperatures are low and I rolled in at a higher state of charge. At home, using level 2, a full fill-up can take as little as 6.5 hours when optioned with the 19.2 kilowatt onboard charger that's installed on the passenger side and 80 amp service. Go with the standard setup and more common 40 amp service, and it's closer to 13 hours. Overnight. That's why charging where you sleep is important. If the extra range and faster charging speed doesn't build your confidence for taking road trips, Audi has a program where, for the first year of ownership, it throws in a week's worth of rental of a gas-powered vehicle. So you're covered. The cabin hasn't changed much since my last go with e-Tron. Overall, that's a good thing. Materials are top grade. Audi does that well, especially at the prestige level. Knees bump into softness. Hardware feels like hardware. There's enough ash wood to panel a small room. The glove box is lined so things don't rattle. Heated and vented seats are supportive, plus you'll save money eliminating spa treatments with the massage feature. This is Valcona Milano leather. That just sounds fancy. The Bang & Olufsen 3D audio system is far better than most people have in their homes. One thing Audi could have updated is the center console storage area. It's a deep reach to get to anything. Cup holders that fold down are flimsy. Armrest storage is small and shallow. I do like that the charge pad keeps phones secure and out of sight. As for the interface, Audi uses a dual screen setup and very few hard buttons. That's an unwelcome trend. Up top, there are all the menus that you would expect. The screen graphics are crisp and clean. Response is excellent with haptic feel. Screen 2 is largely about the HVAC system. Again, looks spendy, but takes my eyes off the road.
There's a lot going on and the screens are down low, so when driving, sometimes it's just safer to use voice commands. Hey Audi, turn on the heated steering wheel.
I am turning on the steering wheel heating.
Thank you very much. It does require a data plan, of course.
Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are wireless, and after I set up a vehicle, I end up using phone projection the most.
This will be very popular with the carpool gang. For starters, it's very roomy back here. I'm 5'9", I have good headroom, loads of knee, leg, and foot room. The cushions are very comfortable, plus it has pretty much anything that anybody would want back here. For starters, dual zone automatic climate control with heated seats, adjustable vents here and here. Nobody's phone will go uncharged. Pockets on both seat backs. Yes, Audi is not cheaping out here. Not too many sunny days in Seattle, but these are nice. Plus, fairly generous pockets in the doors. Not all EVs have perfectly flat floors. This one comes really close. The big glass roof makes it airy back here. Nice. The bench is wide enough so 3 average-sized adults will be just fine for trips across town. If there's just 2 back here, they will be supremely comfortable. Nice place to ride.
More and more, lighting separates mainstream brands from the premium marks. At night, the LED piping looks smart. The seatbelt receivers get landing lights. The Prestige model's digital matrix design LED headlights even put on a show.
Glad to see a rear wiper on this. Some automakers are eliminating those, saying that aerodynamics clear the back window of rain. I live in Seattle. I can assure you it doesn't work.
Thanks, Audi, for including a spare tire. There's room left for some of my gear, too. Many of the expected details are here to hang and organize stuff. The lighting even looks expensive. Remote releases. How civilized. The backs don't lay completely flat, a big deal for some users. In max cargo mode, there's just over 56 cubic feet, 2 more than the sleeker coupe-like Sportback model. And this space is flexible with 40-20-40 split seats. I do the TP trunk test with the back seats up. That measures 28.5 cubic feet, pretty good in class. That translates to 8 packs of the 2-ply, 1 more than the Sportback. Let's wrap things up with red light, green light. Green light. Audi Q8 e-Tron is Cloud 9 comfortable, and yet the steering is precise, plus body roll and dive are well sorted. I like the techie lounge vibe of the cabin, very Audi-esque. Laugh if you want, I look forward to manhandling the transmission shifter. It feels awesome. It's spacious for passengers and takes on a good amount of cargo. Luxurious and practical. Yellow lights? Yeah, this is quick, but many in class will beat it in a drag race. While charge speed is up, chances are it won't mean a lot, especially at a 150 kilowatt DC fast charger. Range is up too, but I'm not overly impressed with the 220 miles that I saw. To be fair, it was just one test, and in chilly weather. Red light. The deep center console with fussy cup holders should have been redesigned. The dual touchscreens are mounted low, which draws eyes off the road when adjusting things. And at an as-tested price of over 88 grand, owners will be paying for the goodness that is the Q8 e-Tron. That's the way it's always been and always will be. Premium vehicles generally command premium prices. A comparable Cadillac Lyriq goes for around $10,000 less, though those have been pretty hard to find. Same with the smaller Genesis electrified GV70.
Yeah, I have quibbles with the Q8 e-Tron, but overall, it's very luxurious. all of the improvements really help make it a better vehicle. More range, faster charging speed. The interior is lovely and it's very quiet and comfortable. Electrification is great for premium vehicles.
Audi has delivered a solid mid-cycle refresh here. It's not resting on its laurels. We should all be so dedicated to self-improvement. The electric vehicle infrastructure is still in its infancy. We need to work together, people. If others are waiting, and they were at one point when I was here, charging etiquette means leaving once hitting 80%, since the curve slows way down at that point. The guy in the Ioniq 6 stayed in place for 10 minutes after hitting 100% to finish a phone call? Boo! And I'm happy that EA eventually charged this Mercedes a $10 idle fee for staying too long once fully juiced. The owner was mad. No sympathy from me. For starters, there needs to be some signage. Know your car's max charge speed and use the right charger. I've seen too many Chevy Bolts at 350 kilowatt terminals. They can only take on around 50, tops.
Ladies, gentlemen, let's give it up for Martin Campbell. Come on up here, Martin. You need to come way up. There he is. You don't see him very often, but he drives while I shoot running footage. What do you think of this car?
Oh, it's nice. Nice car.
Yeah.
Parky. Nice.
It's got some idiosyncrasies, like any car, especially EVs.
I'm not looking for any sympathy because I have a really fun job, but cars can be a real pain in the butt to shoot. They're reflective, the background and direction of the sun don't always cooperate, interiors are tough to shoot due to contrast and shadows, and it's important to pay attention to the background.
And going until I have to use the brake. Right in front of the porta potty.
Plus, many vehicles have small Easter eggs that don't always happen, like the headlight projection that I must have tried a dozen times before I finally got it. And this is my friend's reaction when I did.
That's crazy.
Before I go, back in the day when I originally profiled the e-Tron, a lot of automotive journalists dissed it because it didn't have 400 miles of range. And because of that, I figured when these came off lease, they'd be screaming deals because me, personally, I don't need more than 150 miles of range. Unfortunately, that didn't happen because, well, we all know the pandemic happened and used car prices went absolutely bonkers. So there were no deals to be had. But it was a very nice car and that range didn't bother me at all. So really, what I'm trying to say here is know your needs, right? You may not need an electric vehicle that goes 400 miles. And if you don't, why pay for that expensive battery pack? Thanks for watching. Hey, subscribe to this channel and click notifications. Follow me on social media. If you have a question, leave it in the comments. I'll try to get to you. And if you want to support this channel, please do. You can do that using YouTube Super Thanks, or you can Venmo me. Tom Volk, the name is spelled V-O-E-L-K. Thanks, I do appreciate it. That's Driven. I'm Tom Volk.